before I go to bed, I'm not doing a reading right now. I just wanted to have a discussion real quick about spirits and entities and energies. Um, when I say that, I'm covering a lot of different kinds of entities, or spirits, of course. So I'd like to break that down for you so you can kind of understand the differences. There are our ancestors who came from generations ago down your DNA bloodline. Their spirits will follow you and help you and guide you. And then there's other spirits that are like connected to nature and the universe. Like every planet has a spirit and a divine duty, just like the angels. All the archangels, Michael, Raphael, Ariel, Azrael, they all have a divine duty when it comes to serving God's greatest will. God's greatest will is to actually have us all work together in a perfect harmony. There's also entities that we breathe into existence. Earlier, I did a video doing a tarot reading, and I talked about how the government is an entity. Somebody created it. It's their little baby that they birthed a long time ago, and it's grown up. There's literally so much residual energy behind this entity that it exists. Ooh. So everything out there has some kind of spirit, or it's an entity. I was thinking about how I was joking with Korea and China and Putin and other leaders out there. We all need to come together as one humanity in order to learn how to work with each other better, understand each other better, just have a better world altogether. And a lot of people are out there talking about birthing babies. And not everybody understands manifestation in general. When you create an idea like the government, and that's your baby, and it turns into a whole entity and has an energy behind it and whatnot, that's what I'm talking about. You can birth anything. The government can even have a rebirth. Problem is, setbacks. I feel like it keeps getting rebirthed, but then it keeps getting set back because they haven't gotten rid of certain things that are unnecessary. Sometimes it's necessary to remove things in order to grow appropriately. You know, when your children are small, they have toys that they can play with. Toddler toys, right? When they're no longer a toddler, they start having interest in funner toys. So the parents usually decide to get rid of the old toys to make space for the new toys. They don't have to get rid of them altogether. They could just store them, you know, in their garage or something. So if they do want to go back and find that toy because they miss it, it just felt old to them at the time, it's there. We can use these kind of examples throughout our daily life. It's divinely connected. It's cycles. If you pay attention to the cycles, you realize how finely detailed the divine really is, and they're really creative. We all experience the same lessons and cycles, but the universe knows how to make it suitable for our duality. You know, I'm gonna learn and see things differently than somebody else, even if they're my twin. Just because of my experiences that I have experienced. This lifetime on this 3D realm. My soul that is on another realm that's watching me, my higher self, my highest self is always communicating with me, right? How? How do I connect with my highest self? I do that by loving myself, caring for myself, listening to my own concerns about myself, spending time in meditation to check in with myself. There's so many ways that I can connect with my highest self. My highest self does exist. Some people are like, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in anything at all. How can that be? That doesn't make any sense. That's a lazy man's perspective. They're too lazy to think about how shit really does make sense. So, back to the babies. Every country has an entity attached to it. Like the USA is an entity. It's an energy. What kind of energy? I'm not sure. I mean, it's something you feel. Just like when you encounter another individual, you're reading their body language, you're looking in their eyes, you're listening to what they say to get an opinion on what kind of vibes you're picking up. So, if you look at it like that, you actually are carrying them for an entity. So, what does the entity of your country need? What does it thrive on? It's a baby, you gotta feed it, change its diaper, put it to bed when it needs to be put to bed until it can do all that shit on its own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of countries have had that figured out already. But take a look at what's happening in the war zone with like Iraq and Iran and Israel. That little region. Since the stories in the Bible, it's been that way. What does the entity of those countries need and want? Somebody needs to rebirth that area. Hello. So yeah. That's the way I'm looking at things, and I seem to be finding it easier to figure out what other people want, even if they don't really know what they want. And people love me for that. That's why I do what I do. That's what makes therapists special. I'm not a therapist. I didn't go to school to be a therapist or anything, but I'm kind of like an angel therapist. I give people proper guidance and clarity so that they feel better about being themselves. So they feel better about putting faith in the journey. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover when it comes to that. The entities and energies. Everything starts with self. So, if you're not checking in with yourself and good stuff is going on when you do that, that means there's a problem of some kind. You've created conflict with yourself. If you create conflict with yourself, that's something that must be fixed immediately, because when we have issues with ourselves, that starts stemming outwardly. And people start to see it. They don't even know what the fuck they're looking at. They're like, what the fuck is going on? They're looking for invisible problems and shit. But really, it's just you avoiding confronting this problem that you swept under the rug when it comes to yourself. This typically happens with people that like need to live distorted realities because reality sucks so bad. I don't know. I've never had to live a distorted reality. I've always felt comfortable living in my truth. Even as a teenager, when I wasn't like, I was not doing things to brag about, but I did. You know? I never felt the need to hide anything I've done. As soon as I have a conflict with myself, I like to solve it. Because you're never free when you have a conflict with yourself. When you have a conflict with yourself, it's a mental prison. Can't we all just love each other and stop destroying nature? Right. Necessary is necessary. You know? We do help nature a lot. But at the same time, we hurt it. That's contradicting. Thanks for commenting. In life, there's a lot of contradictions like that. And when we're faced with a contradiction like that, we must find out why and where this is stemming from. I feel like some of the things that we're doing that hurts nature are necessary to a certain degree, but we've crossed the line, haven't we? It's that entity that is connected to the government. It's greedy. I'm getting greedy vibes and selfish, self-righteousness. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Somebody needs to curb that entity. Everything out there has a spirit and an entity attached to it. Even this chair. This was my grandma's chair that my mom had until my brother gave her that new chair and I moved it in here. I've been connecting with my grandma a lot more. She passed over like 8-ish years ago. 9, 8. So, movies that have spirits attached to dolls, statues, and paintings, that's real. Maybe a painting's eyes don't actually move on you, but somehow it feels like the eyes on that painting can look at you from anywhere, like any angle in the room. You guys ever noticed that about certain paintings? It's in the fine details. Well, yeah. I'm going to end this here now. I hope this helped you guys. This video will be here. If you guys missed any of it, you can go back and watch. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. so you're notified every time I go live. And don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching. I gotta go to bed now. It's like 2 o'clock. I don't know why I'm staying up so late. I was like tired earlier, but then I just got this like second wind. I was like ready to go, feeling energized. Now it's 2 a.m. Peace.